Hi y'all, it is Whitney, or Darth Crow, with No Drinking in the Library. This is a very special edition. There's some bubbles in the background, so hopefully that's some nice ASMR crap. I also just wanted to do another storytelling. And it's night, and the sun is setting, and everyone's kind of winding down on the end of a nice evening. 1st of May, and a little bit of a celebration. So I just wanted to say hi to everybody. And I picked out a book that one of my beasties have given me. It's How to Care for Your Monster by Norman Birdwell from like 1970. So that's exciting. So hang on. There's no drinking in the library, but there is some hot tubs. So, cheers. Okay, so who's ready for a story? How to care for your monster. So you want to own a monster. Many people do these days. You can bring a monster into your home. It's just a matter of finding one you like. This book will tell you how to get your monster and how to keep him or her healthy and happy. If you are lucky enough to live in a town that has a monster store, getting a monster should be easy. Just show the dad the ad and ask him for some money. You could tell this is a little dated, but maybe I'll just say folks. Just show your folks the ad and ask them for some money. Thank them and run before they ask questions. Most monster stores open at midnight, so you may want to take along a friend. So I love the illustrations. If new monsters are too expensive, buy a used monster. Check him carefully. Used monsters may be slightly damaged. I think that most of us are. I think that's kind of what makes us monsters. There's a saying somewhere on a meme or a blog or something that a Disney villain is just a Disney princess that had a lot of really bad shit happen to her. A prince or two got involved. Some have been thrown over cliffs or burned a little in old windmills by angry owners or hard-to-please villagers. If you can't buy a new or used monster, perhaps you can have one made to order. Oh, that's sad. But the made to order is exciting. The Frankenstein monster is put together in a way I would rather not go into. Making one is not a do-it-yourself project. I suggest that you ask your friendly neighborhood mad doctor for help. He will enjoy picking up the pieces and putting them together. And he probably won't charge you, just the monster. Ugh. Your friendly neighborhood mad doctor may already have a monster hidden somewhere in his office. Look around. If you find them and they like you, they may follow you home. The monster, not the doctor. When you get your monster home, make them comfortable. Put them in a dark corner in the cellar. The darker the better. He's used to caves and old rotting windmills. He will feel better the first night if you rattle a chain and shriek a little. Kind of reminds you of Harry Potter. Under the cupboard. Frankenstein monsters don't usually eat, but they do need electricity now and then to keep them going. You remember that Dr. Frankenstein brought the monster to life with a good jolt of lightning. If yours seems sluggish and dull, hand them a metal pole and send them out to play in the thunderstorm. Alone. He'll love it. I don't need to tell you that plugging him into the house electricity can be dangerous, but look at him plugged in. It can cause trouble. Kaboom! Sometimes after a really good thunderstorm, your monster may be overcharged. Help them get rid of their excess energy. Let them run the vacuum cleaner and other things. Another good way to work off their extra energy is to take them for a walk. They will not like to go out in the sunlight. Understand this problem. Make it pleasant for them. Give them the whole preacher setup. If they want to explore a few dark cellars or manholes, let them. A little curiosity never hurt anyone. It might hurt some workers. Your Frankenstein monster enjoys meeting people. Introduce them to your friends. They will get a real charge out of them. Frankenstein monsters are the nicest kind of monster because they look like monsters all of the time. Give your monster pride in their appearance. Polish their neck and wrist bolts and sew up any loose stitches. If you can't sew, maybe Mom can help. Or Dad. There's a lot of dudes who can sew. Good luck. To keep their skin a nice smooth green, try using your big sister's green eyeshadow. Or yours that's secretly hidden. Halloween is a big night in any monster's life. Help yours to make the most of it. Take them trick-or-treating. Here's the trick. Now here's the treat. Frankenstein monsters have a real sense of fun. So the trick, look how pretty. Ballerina face. But it's just a mask. It's Frankenstein's beautiful mug underneath. Share your activities with your monster. After all, they are almost like one of the family. In fact, they're probably better than some of the family. Excuse me. He will like to watch horrible, mean, nasty shows on television. Let them watch the news. I mean, yeah. Now we move on to another popular monster. Dig up a friend, a mummy. If your family is always telling you to turn down the record player and not to shout, giggle, or slam doors, then a mummy is the monster for you. They make very little noise. Doing. Except at night. Then your mummy will go thump, thump, thump across the attic floor, right over the family's heads. Well, that will show them what noise really is. Where to find a mummy? Your mummy. If your local monster store doesn't stock mummy monsters, you have a problem. Unless someone in your family has stolen a mummy's hand. In that case, the mummy will find you. But don't count on it. Maybe you can get acquainted with a mummy in your local museum. You might also try looking through the museum's trash barrels. Perhaps an old used mummy is being thrown away. Oh, that's the guy at the museum just throwing them out like there's nobody. Or maybe you have a friend who's planning a visit to Egypt soon. Maybe the Weasleys can get you something. Ask them to pick up a mummy for you. And then you can be sure of a genuine Egyptian mummy in the best of health. Mummies don't eat, but they do enjoy spices, and they need some balsam and aromatic gums now and then to keep them from crumbling. Save your old Christmas tree for balsam, and as for aromatic gums, try spearmint and juicy fruit. You know, back then, this was 41 years ago, they understood what all those words meant. I mean, I know what a lot of these words mean because I'm a witch, and so I've got some of this stuff in my practice. But a lot of people don't understand what these are. So it's very interesting to see them in just common use, like in a kid's book. So keep your mummy dry. No hot tubs for mummies. No one likes a soggy mummy. The outer wrappings can be dusty, but not dirty. If your mummy gets dirty, take the outside wrappings off. Don't unwrap them too far. Woo! That definitely indicates that it's female because it's covering his chest. And that's kind of rude. It keeps saying he. Let your little brother or sister play with them. Mummies like to bury things in the sandbox. They also like to play with blocks. Mummies are good at building pyramids. Look at that pyramid block. Mummies don't laugh or smile. But most of them are good-natured. This is surprising when you know what they went through to become mummies. I love that that's a creepy tale for another book. Mummies like to have fun too, so when a salesman comes to your door and asks to see your mummy, let him. Once in a while, after a mummy comes to live in your house, you will start having bad luck. What you have is the mummy's curse. Don't blame your mummy. If someone woke you up from a 2,000-year sleep, you'd be grouchy too. Ooh, straight into another monster. We don't even mess around. So, vampires. From bad to worst. Instead of bad. Okay, I'll drink. Vampire fans find it a real challenge to have a vampire around the house. If you want to have a vampire without going to the monster store, try this. Just before dawn, when the bats fly back to their caves, go out into the yard and take a cap with you. When a bat flies by, shout, "Bat, bat, fly into my hat." Throw the cap into the air. If a bat flies into it, he will fall into the ground. Pop him into a cage and go back to bed. When the sun comes up, look in the cage. Maybe you will have a bat. Maybe. Or maybe you'll have a real vampire that is very mad to be stuck in a cage. If you do, introduce yourself and ask them courteously if they are looking for a new house. They probably are. Vampires change owners often. Vampires are very dignified and polite, but they will have rather peculiar habits of eating and sleeping. Unless you're from the Laszlo group, and then you can just say bat and turn straight into a bat. So don't bother to fix up the guest room. Your vampire will be happier in a damp corner of the cellar with his own special bed to lie in when he goes to sleep at night. Look at that bed. Bella from Bela Lugosi. He was the original Universal monster. This brings us to the fact that your vampire will want to sleep all day and play all night. Nighttime is the right time for him to play. Vampires enjoy a game of night baseball because they like to come. As long as they are at bat. You know how they are about bats. They also enjoy playing badminton. Now we've come across the biggest problem for a vampire fan must face. Vampires don't eat the foods we do. They crave a special liquid diet. And I don't mean the good kind. Perspective. Vampires' blood is the good kind. So a vampire owner needs to have a large and understanding family and a lot of very good friends who will help out at feeding time. One person can't do it alone. They're just talking about being a feeder. I love it. So a vampire owner needs to have, needs to have a large and understanding family. Well, we said that. One person can't do it alone. But if your vampire should enjoy too many midnight stacks at your expense, just rub garlic on your neck. They hate garlic. It'll keep them away. It will also keep away mom, dad, brothers, sisters, friends, the dog, etc. Vampires, except not me, because I love garlic. Vampires hate other things. Serve your vampire hot cross buns, and they will leave the table. Vampires do not cast reflections in mirrors. They hate mirrors for that very reason. They are very conceited about their appearance, however, so you will have to keep your vampire looking neat. In that case, you may prefer a shaggier monster. If you want a werewolf, you will have to face the fact that you will have a part-time monster. Most of the month, a werewolf will look like you or me. Well, me anyway. When the moon is full, they will be a real monster and well worth the wait. Oh, see, this just goes straight. It didn't even give me, the other ones give me a title transition. This one gives me no transition. But I have a couple of werewolves in my life. One especially that's amazing that I always say is my werewolf friend. Hey, Chris. And a different werewolf that gave me this book. Most of the month, the werewolf will look like you or me. Well, me anyway. Well, I don't know. I think that I might be part wolf, maybe. I don't know. Werewolves like full moons, wolfsbane, and the boys and girls. Tell your friends to lock up their little brothers when the moon is full. That is the best time to catch a werewolf, when the moon is full. Take a handful of wolfsbane out in the woods and wait. Wolfsbane is the werewolf's version of catnip. It drives them wild. Look at that little kitty. If you are lucky, a werewolf will soon come out of the woods to nibble the wolfsbane and howl at the moon. Don't try to reason with them. Just slap a big cage over them. You can explain things later when the moon is changed. If you can talk them into staying, you and your friends will find out that they are a fun monster. Werewolves are not fussy about their appearance. The worse they look, the better. They usually come back from moonlight romps with their clothes all soiled with mud and grass sticks. Oh, excuse me. And, well, other things. I'm so sorry. Is the bubbles out and the bubbles in? While the moon is full, it is wise to keep your werewolf well fed with raw meat and wolfsbane. Otherwise, he may stop by the neighbors for a little snack. If he acts sluggish and out of sorts, take them to the doctor or to a veterinarian. I personally prefer the veterinarian. They're like the apocalyptic partner choice of all, of anything. When someone's in a jam, they go to a vet, not a doctor, right? Maybe I am part werewolf. I don't know. Don't delay. It could mean distemper. Like they're both fighting over who gets to have him as a patient or who doesn't. Or it could be someone he ate. Count your friends. Don't blame your monster. After all, you wanted a werewolf and now you got it. How to have a monster show. How, the gang's all hair. Hair. When you and your friends all have monsters, it will be fun for the owners to have a monster show. Just like Pig Royalty. Is anyone else watching Pig Royalty? Give prizes for the best ones. Why should the dog and horse lovers have all the fun? The show must be held on a night when the moon is full, so all the monsters will be monsters. I mean, you want your one monster, the werewolf, to be a werewolf, right? Choose a place where they will there be at their best. Any haunted house or deserted graveyard will do. You'll need judges. There must be someone you know who is used to dealing with monsters. How about your teacher? Here are some tips to the judges on what to look for in monsters before awarding prizes. Frankenstein monsters should be judged for their ugliness, size, surliness, and charm. The shine of their wrist and neck bolts, as well as the electrodes on their hands, will be considered. So will the quality of their seam stitching. The best shriek will count points. A winner, a loser. Oh. Mummies get points for best wrapping, worst aroma, and heaviest feet. Make sure your mummy thumps slowly and loudly across the stage. No tap dancing, please. Just reading about monsters has me a little paranoid. I'm way out in the country. No tap dancing, please. A winner, thump, 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 and a loser. Do, 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 do. I would totally lose because, like, but I'd be dancing a jig in my combat boots. Does that count as a thump thump? I don't know. Vampires should look especially neat and dapper. Capes must be neatly pressed but with a hint of graveyard mold. Hair should be shiny and slicked down. Teeth must be sharp and bite must be neat. Only 2 punctures per bite, please. Judges should look for an evil glare in their eyes. A winner and a loser. The werewolf will be judged for the length and coarseness of hair and the size and sharpness of his claws. His howl will be judged, the louder the better. His ability to recognize the moon will also be considered. If he howls at a light bulb, you might as well take him home right away. So, ooh, arse. Winner? Loser. But I like his tie. He's so snappy. As far as the prizes, give the mummies ribbons. They love ribbons. Never give a silver medal to a vampire. Vampires are terrified of silver for some reason. Toss a vampire an old dime sometime and see what happens. If a Frankenstein monster wins a prize, give them something he can use. Give them a trip to the power plant. Werewolves are always thinking of their stomachs, so give them a prize they can eat. Give them the judge. Sometimes monsters are better to give than to receive. For that brother or sister or friend who is very special to you, choose a gift that will bring a new surprise each day throughout the year and be a reminder of you. Give a monster. They won't know how to thank you. That's all you need to know about monsters. Now go out and catch one. Don't be the last in your neighborhood to have a monster. That's me, all sassy. Oh, look at all the monster friends. Now they can have a monster show. So yeah, that's it. Have a new monster as a pet, worried about how to groom them, what or whom to feed them, how to keep them healthy, happy, and howling. Here's all you need to know, including how to catch your very own Frankenstein, vampire, mummy, or werewolf. I mean, it was clearly a book from like this, maybe the very first original Scholastic Book Fair. Who all remembers that stuff? I do. Ooh, I keep sliding down. It's so slippery. Anyway, so thanks for hanging out with me and checking out how to care for your monster with me today. Or tonight. I hope you have sweet dreams. Sleep dreams. Not sleep dreams. We don't want sleep dreams. But sweet dreams. And here's to drinking at home and reading a lot of books and being a bookworm. And for tuning in and hanging out. So,